Man, Tari Eason is playing his ass off, huh? Holy cow.
Tari Eason was unbelievable. You know, in the first 15 minutes of the game, he played 50. At one point in the third quarter, he had played 15 minutes and had 16 points and 10 boards. I've never seen anything like that.
Why only 15 minutes
15 minutes. Well, in the game, he ended up obviously going into the I don't know what his final minute total was. It was obviously
he ended up with 27, which was more than Jalen Green
played the whole fourth
or Şengün.
He played the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He ended up with 25 points, 14 rebounds?
25 and 14.
Yeah. 25 and 14. Dude, he was all over everything. Offensive boards. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to be reactive. I hate recency bias. But
this is the last couple of games.
Realistically, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it's going to be Şengün, Eason, and TBD as the top offensive guys on the team. Van Vliet now, but in the long run, I don't think Van Vliet. You can't afford to keep paying Van Vliet.
Both of them. This is like an RG3 Kirk Cousins kind of deal. They were both later draft picks, Tari and Şengün.
Yeah,
and they're both producing.
They're outplaying Jabari and Jalen.
Way outplaying their draft spot.
Yeah, they are. And I dealt with an argument with my son about this yesterday. Like, he's real down on Jabari. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I said, the team is playing better. He's like, and he just wants stats.
Jabari with 20 and 10 yesterday, 7 of 10 from
I know.
the field.
Well, first of all, it was what are they calling it? Not Jabari Eason. It was a Jabari Eason game. And because they both were great. You're right. They were both terrific. And my whole point is, just because Eason outproduces per minute, Jabari, that doesn't make Jabari a bad draft pick. It doesn't mean the whole goal, I see this all the time, the goal is to be a good team. So where a guy was drafted, I mean, that's just for fans to complain about this or that. And I said, what is it exactly? I told my son, what is it exactly that bothers you about Jabari Smith if he's doing his job and the Rockets are a better team and they're winning? What does it bother you? Well, he should be doing more for a third pick. I said, what difference does it make if he was the third? So if he were the pick where Eason went, I can't remember where Eason went. It was outside was it 15th or something like that? I think it was outside the lottery. I said, would it be better if Eason was the third pick? Does that make a difference? It's the same two players.
Right.
They were both first round picks. What difference? Stop focusing on that. Like, I really don't care about Jalen being the second pick of the draft anymore. It doesn't matter. I just care about how he fits on. Yeah, how does he fit on the Rockets now? That's all that matters. The only time that matters is the first, maybe second year. Once you get to year 3, how are you playing on the team? And you know what? Eason and Jabari, I think, are great for this team. And I don't care if Jabari fluctuates with his production. I think Tari Eason, because he can get his points anywhere, because he's a more fluid athlete than Jabari Smith is. Like, he can get him off the offensive boards. He can get him in transition. He can get him off junk. He can get him off lobs. He can make threes like he did yesterday. This is so exciting to me to have out of nowhere, Tari Eason that was career high, by the way, 25 points. To have Tari and Jabari lead the way, and it wasn't Şengün.
No,
it wasn't Jalen. It wasn't Van Vliet.
Listen, it's even better. You got it's a bargain. It's a bargain deal. And actually, those are pleasant surprises. Şengün at 15, he should have been. If you go and redraft that, you go and look at where he would be picked now. Of course he would be picked like he'd be one of the top 3 or 4 picks. He's one of the better players in the league. So who cares? That's a bargain. I don't care where you get him. If it's undrafted, whatever. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. You know what? He's playing great for him. Who cares where he's picked? You got him now.
Rockets opened up a 19-point lead, looked like they were going to cruise, and then lost that lead in the third quarter.
They
were
do.
Terrible in the third quarter. But you know what they do now, John, is they close games out in the fourth quarter, especially at home. And they got control of the game in the fourth quarter. They expanded the lead, and then they maintained that cushion throughout the game. It was a huge game for Tari Eason. Tari Eason, 25 and 14, 25 points, 14 rebounds in just 27 minutes of play. One of the most efficient games we've seen all year long from any Houston Rocket. And so for once, it's not Şengün. It was not Şengün. It was not Fred VanVleet. It was Jabari Smith, 20 and 10, and Tari Eason, 25 and 14. What a game for those two guys. And the Rockets, longer athletic players have such an impact on second shots and getting hands on loose balls. But what I love about Tari Eason is he's got some junk man mentality, and this is actually a compliment. He can go get he's a free flowing athlete. He'll just go keep balls alive. He'll get to loose balls. He gets to 50-50 balls. He will get to the offensive boards. He did it twice with putbacks, and he's such an important cog to this team. I would put him up there with Jabari Smith in terms of importance to this team. Tari Eason off the bench is super important for this team. I mean, that is, to me, the sixth man right now.
He's sixth man. There's no question.
And Aaron Gordon had a really good game yesterday, too. He's been a very good surprise. You know, there have been some things that I think that Rafael Stone has missed on
Aaron
some things.
Holiday.
I said Aaron Gordon. Yeah, Aaron Holiday. Yeah, I wish we had Aaron Gordon, if I'm being honest.
I like Aaron Holiday.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Aaron Gordon if they want to switch. But I'm just kidding, guys. I was just doing the name thing again where I do that little thing I do. But I think Rafael Stone is kind of maybe learning on the move, too. I remember having a conversation one time with him, and he kind of intimated that I was talking about how NFL teams, you know, value culture, and I thought that's where he'd be going with the team. And he kind of, I think that's a little overrated. And I think maybe he's learning some things because you got to remember, he was under Daryl Morey forever. Daryl Morey was a big believer in individual numbers for players, that the data is the data, but there's emotional and chemistry stuff that numbers guys don't believe in that are real. They miss on that because they're not human people. They're machines and monsters, the data people, except for me. I'm a numbers
so
guy.
underrated. I mean, you don't think that Rafael Stone now has changed his tune?
I wonder that. I wonder if he's learning on the job too, because he was a brand new GM. So maybe Rafael has learned on the job and says, you know what, boy, I really recognize this, because I do think some of the personnel stuff he's done. Look, do I think he loved KPJ way too much? Way too much. Do I think he was down on Şengün too much? Way too much. However, I also think that you can learn. And he'd never been in a GM position. He had only known the Daryl Morey way, which is a very cold, calculating way. I think that now, I'll put it this way, he's not fit to be a GM if he hasn't learned from what has happened this year. No James, you bring in veterans, but those were his moves too, right? And so I want to give him credit. The moves he has made, the drafting of Şengün, the drafting of Jabari Smith and Tari Eason that year. Not that Jabari had to be your pick. I mean, unless it was Jaden Ivey. But it was Jabari was going to be the pick. But Tari Eason, Şengün, these two are classic, these are Rafael Stone pickups. Mm-hmm. Adding Aaron Holiday. That's Rafael Stone has done that. Londale, whatever. He's not a very good player to me. But I think he's done a really nice job of doing maybe what was asked of him to do.
Londale was a result of Brooks Lopez not coming.
Yeah, but
which actually has turned out to be.
But Brooke was being brought in to maybe put the other guy on the bench.
That's right. Brooke Lopez. The best thing that happened was,
the guy who should be an all-star.
Yeah, the best thing that happened was Brooke Lopez not coming.
Yeah. So, but I do think Rafael Stone has done a nice job in some ways, and in other ways, I think he is still in a learning process of what it takes to build a team outside of the Morey, the Morey way of get the best player and let the best player dominate the efficiency numbers. And because this is different. And I like, frankly, this is actually more fun to watch. What Udoka's doing is more fun to watch than the explosive James Harden metrics and all that. That was great. The Rockets won a lot, and that's what it's about. But it's more pleasant to watch this. Guys all hustling, guys being involved, moving without the ball, less bad shots being taken, less late in the shot clock shots being taken where you have to force it up. I like this better, and it's fun to watch them win. This is now 11 in a row at home. They are one of the best home teams in the league, and they're one of the worst road teams in the league. Mm-hmm. But they've got a one-game win streak on the road, so recent history shows that they're actually trending in a very successful direction on the road after that one game.